My self-led delusions and overconfidence led to my first uni exam season to be a little bit questionable. Let's just say exams 1, Jerome 0. Let's talk about it.
What's up, crew? Well, in my opinion,
Boy, what the hell, boy? You need to ask yourself, why aren't you? Kind of controversial, but I don't think we should. I just broke down crying.
you're listening to Free to Grow with Jerome and Baga. New episode every Thursday.
What's up, crew? Welcome back. You're listening to episode 13, midterm season. Yikes. I wanted to make this episode because I just had a couple sets of midterms yesterday and sprinkled throughout the week. And it's been a rough week. Let's say it's been a very rough week. I'm very happy it's Thursday because I didn't have anything too hard on Thursday or on Friday. So this is kind of like my weekend, and it was so nice to be done with all that stress and everything. If you celebrate it, happy Thanksgiving. If not, I hope you had a really, really good weekend. I went out to Fredericton and I visited my brother, which was amazing. It was such a nice visit. I hadn't seen him in a while, and I also saw his girlfriend and the dogs, and it was a great trip overall. It's really nice to be around family all the time. That sounded so AI. Anyways, today I'm going to be focusing on 3 main topics. Topic one is don't give yourself too much confidence. Like, be confident in what you know, but don't be overconfident. Don't give yourself delusions. We all do it. Topic 2 will be try and navigate through those weeks where you feel like you're kind of just treading water, like one step behind kind of thing. And then topic 3 is changing your mindset going out forward. So listen to it. And topic 3 has honestly one of my favorite quotes I've ever heard, at least from a teacher. Favorite quote I've ever heard from a teacher, hands down. Anyways, let's dive right into it. It's okay. I'm gonna have to call you out here, and I'm gonna have to call myself out here, because I think we can all recognize that sometimes when we finish tests that did not go very well, we walk outside the room and we're like, oh, our teacher didn't even teach us that. That wasn't even anywhere in the slides. It was. Okay? I'm not trying to be that guy. I'm not trying to be a teacher's pet or whatever, but it is the truth. And don't get me wrong, I say that every single time I walk out of a test that doesn't go wrong. That doesn't go right. But the truth is, the information was there. It was there. And I think it's fine to say that out loud, because everyone does. I guarantee you, I'm saying this right now, the next test that does not go well, I promise you, I will be there preaching loud and proud, saying that the teacher did not teach us that, and that was not in the slides and all that other kind of stuff. But what's important is not necessarily not saying that phrase. Oh, my speaker just turned off. What's more important is being able to say that phrase, but also recognizing that that's not true. Because if you accept that phrase of, oh, we didn't even get taught that, then you're setting yourself up for failure in the future, because you're giving yourself a way out every single time. Every single time you don't meet the standard or the grade that you wanted, not what other people wanted, that you wanted, you give yourself a way out from owning up to the part of your life or standards that you didn't meet, and you're just saying, oh, teacher's fault. But if you don't actually recognize that, then the next test you have, the same thing will happen again and again and again. Now, the flip side of that is, don't be too hard on yourself. If you set unreasonably high expectations for yourself, then it's pretty fair to assume that when you don't meet those expectations, you're going to always take that excuse route, So essentially what I'm saying is, if you're going to take 20 tests throughout the entire year, don't set the bar for yourself to get 100 on all of them. If that's your bar, you do you. Maybe reconsider, because none of us are perfect. We're bound to slip up here and there, or just not answer a question the way that the teacher may have preferred it. All that kind of dumb stuff, right? We're bound to slip up at some point. But if you set that bar for yourself, then yes, it is reasonable that every single time you leave that test not feeling good about it, you're going to say, oh, we didn't even get taught that. Oh, that's not even what the main focus of the course was. All that other kind of stuff. But this is kind of a hard distinction to make because now you're faced with two scenarios. You have the opportunity to drop your bar lower or up your work grind. And those are two different scenarios that yield two very, very, very different outcomes. But it's up for you to actually sit down and question yourself if you are operating at the academic level that you believe you can. Biggest advice, I have nothing revolutionary to say in this episode, but biggest advice is just study. Just be consistent with it. And I sound like a complete hypocrite right now because my thing is that a lot of the stuff we're learning in my program right now is stuff we learned in grade 12. Like, for example, my bio and chem classes, like in bio, the lecture today was on like mitosis. And if you take biology, then you know that that's like grade 11 biology. Keep in mind also, my schooling is a bit behind because my teachers were on strike for like a month or 3 weeks at the beginning. So we're a bit behind. But what happened with me is I got a little bit overconfident because I was like, oh yeah, I know this stuff. And I did, but like in the back of my mind. And that's not where you want the information when you're writing an exam. So there were just a lot of slip ups that I was making that I knew I could have done better. And that was very, very frustrating, to be completely honest. So point is, don't give yourself that cop out answer, that escape every single time you mess up or don't meet your standard. Sit down, evaluate. Are you trying hard enough or is your bar too high? And that can change and that can influence the way you study, the way you attend class, all that kind of stuff. And go to class. Go to class. Okay? It's an addicting pattern. I get it. Last week I wasn't feeling the best. I was feeling a little sick, but also I was just feeling downright lazy. And I skipped one class on Monday. I think it was bio because I was like, oh, I already know this stuff. Ooh. Bad idea. It's addicting. It's very addicting. And I consider myself like pretty like cordial or like motivated person when it comes to going to class, but it is very addicting. It is. Point is, go to class. Don't try and find out if you can skip one here or there. If you haven't skipped one, keep it that way, unless you're like mortally sick or something. But yeah. Also, I lied. In the intro, I said that I was going to drop the greatest quote I've ever heard in my life in the third topic, but I'm actually going to do it now because it fits here better. My grade 12 chemistry teacher is a man named Mr. Tosh. Mr. Tosh, if you're listening to this, you're an amazing teacher. Anyone who has had Mr. Tosh, they know what I'm talking about. He's a really, really, really great guy. Some people have problems with him. Not for any specific reason. It's just like, everyone has teachers they don't like, or anything. But overall, at the school I was at, he was an overall loved teacher because he taught chemistry, but he also taught values of life. And he said that like during the very first class where he was like, this period that you come to this room every single day or every other day, it's more than just chemistry that I want to teach you. Because yes, you're going to be using this chemistry when you go out into the real world and all that kind of jazz. But what you need more is life lessons and how to actually navigate through the world so that you can apply that chemistry. And so the quote he dropped, I'm not sure if it was at the beginning of the year or at some random point, but he said, the average exists for a reason. And I was like, whoa, 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 whoa. That, that sincerely changed my perception of academics. Now, this may or may not be relatable. In my experience, I find myself, I envision myself as someone who scores higher than the average, right? Like if the average on a test is 80%, I'm assuming that I'm going to get an 85 or a 90. That's just my perception. I definitely don't always, but those kind of self-delusions tell me like, oh yeah, come on now, that's easy. Now you have to remember the average is there because that's what most of the people got. And if you're doing what most of people do, then you are going to get the results of most people. That like blew my mind. That blew our mind. I was like, oh my gosh. Because yeah, the average is not some made up number. It is what your classmates are getting. These are not fake numbers. They're not like AI or something. The average exists for a reason. If you're doing average planning, study habits, sleep schedules, all that kind of stuff, you're going to get average results. Average input equals average output. And that's like a basic fact of life that can be applied to everything, not even just midterm season or schooling or whatever. The average exists for a reason. Again, Mr. Tosh, if you're listening to this, that quote, I was like, damn, you spitting. Anyways, chapter 2, trying to catch up, getting through those weeks where you're feeling like you're 1 or 2 steps behind. That was brutal. That was this week. That was not fun. Because my dumbass decided to go have a great time in Fredericton with my brother and chillax. And it was so amazing. Ate delicious food, went on really nice walks. It was great. It was great. It was a great weekend. I did not study. I did not study. And so what happened is, because I had a chem and a psych exam this week. And so what happened is I had to completely prioritize chem and psych on Monday and Tuesday and eventually Wednesday, which is when both the exams were. And I had to throw out bio, calc, and English. I had to throw that out the door because I simply did not have enough time to study for them. I did not. Like, with the amount of time that I left myself for, I had to skip the bio and calc classes. My English is online, so I didn't really skip that. But I had to skip those classes and just study calc, study psych. And that obviously caused a domino effect because the work doesn't disappear. It has to catch up with me. So I wrote the exam, and then after that, I was not done. I was very burnt out, but I did have a lot of catch up on bio and calc to do, which I ended up doing Wednesday evening per se, and today. Those weeks suck. Those weeks suck a lot. There's really nothing revolutionary I have to say about that. Again, they just suck. But when the going gets tough, the tough gets going, or something. I think that's the quote. Embody that. Especially at university, you or someone or something out there is paying a lot of money for you to be there. Work. You definitely go there and have your fun and all that kind of stuff. But when it's time to put your head down, you got to put your head down. You got to muscle through that. Surround yourself with people that will help you and will like understand that, like, hey, I need to study right now. I can't go out and do whatever. And do your thing. Because at the end of the day, you're not getting, like, if you have smarter friends or whatever, you're not getting their GPA. You're getting your GPA. Okay? Like, if you're putting in average work, you're getting your average GPA out. If you're putting less than average work, you're getting your less than average GPA out. Unless you are an academic, like, born genius. And I'm jealous of you, but it's probably not true. So remember, consistency is key. Just get ahead of the game. Try and get ahead of your work. And again, I'm being hypocritical because I obviously did not do that this week. But it's just a reminder to, like, keep it in mind, you know? And it's okay to fall back every once in a while, but just try not to make that your entire, like, university experience. Just try to catch up 1 day behind, 2 days behind kind of thing. And then, yeah. Oh yeah, the thing I also wanted to say is try and get out of that, like, I just gotta make it to Friday mentality, because it sucks. Nothing else to say there. It sucks. Anyways, to part 3, try and be happy when that week is over. Enjoy it. You know, once you've, like, put your head down and you've worked and you've caught up and all that kind of stuff, take some time to relax for yourself. It can be very easy to get anxious and caught up in all that emotional, like, stress and, like, stressful deadlines and all that kind of stuff. But take a second, relax. Make sure the relaxing thing is something you actually enjoy doing. You know, like, if you have just had a horrible, like, week of just putting your head down, trying to catch up with deadlines, and everyone else is like going out, like going partying and everything, but you just don't have the physical or social battery for that, don't do it. It can also be vice versa. If everyone, or maybe not everyone, but a few people around you are being more chill and just want to lay down, but you want to go outside and charge that social battery, go do that. You know, do your thing, make sure you're enjoying it. And yeah, because you got to get through those weeks. For me, what was really encouraging me was one, this weekend. This weekend's going to be super fun. Not much else to say there. It's just going to be a good weekend. And then I say that because I feel that the whole campus is kind of feeling that academic stress kick in. And so people are going to want to like let loose and be a bit more flexible over the weekend. But I'm going hiking on Saturday, I believe. I don't know. One of these days, I'm going hiking with a group of guys, like my roommate and a group of guys, and I'm really excited. I really like hiking. I really like being in nature. There'll be an episode about that soon. But also, I'm not sure if you've noticed, but I've been posting reels, kind of as like trailers for my podcast episodes on my Instagram. My Instagram is jerome.mbaga, jerome.mbaga. And I'm releasing them kind of as trailers for each episode. I know it's not a trailer because the episodes I've released reels for are already out, but my plan is to keep releasing trailers. I'm trying to do like once every 2 days, once every 3 days, so I can catch up to where I am now, episode 13. And then eventually we'll get to a point where I'll have the episode pre-recorded, I'll have a trailer ready and everything, and then I could post it maybe the day before the episode drops, or maybe the day after the episode drops. I'm not sure, but I've really been enjoying it because this podcast journey has been really fun because I've been able to learn a bunch of really cool software that it comes with like the media and editing world. There's this software called DaVinci Resolve. It's like the top line editing software in the world, and Hollywood, like there's like movies use it, like it's crazy. And there's a completely free version, which I use. There's a paid version, which is like $300 or something like that. But that's like insanely pro, which I don't need. But even the free version is like insane. Like it's insane. And it was a mission to learn that. I had to watch this 4-hour YouTube video teaching me how to do it. And it was a lot. But now that I know my way around a bit, you know, like I'm not completely lost, learning and like editing these reels are so fun. Like I'm just sitting at my table sometimes and like I get this idea like of like, oh, I can use this clip from the episode and I can line it up with the music and it'll be a beat drop, and it's just like so creative. And it's fun. So yeah, I hope you enjoy them. Give them a like, give them a comment. Oh, and more importantly, if you're listening to this on whatever platform you're on, give it a follow, give it a like, give it a rating, whatever, so you can spread the news. The cavalry is coming, kind of thing. Anyways, thank you so much, crew. I had a great time talking to you guys. I hope you guys had a wonderful Thursday, and I will see you next week. Bye-bye.